Okay, so we're going to open the text file Harry Potter, and we're going to attempt to convert Harry Potter to Harriet Potter, and then save the new text file. After we do this, we're going to talk about some issues with what we did, what did and did not work with that, and how it could be fixed. So, but mainly we're just doing it to kind of read through the file and walk through an entire file and then resave it. Okay, so we'll come over here and we'll go a new class and we'll call it convert Harry Potter. And we'll come up here and we're gonna say our name and class and the date. We're gonna say program converts the text file Potter. I think it's all one word. Yep. Potter.txt file and resaves it and saves as a new file. Okay, I didn't quite describe what I was going to do because I want to do a couple of things. So I might change. For now, we're going to do the Harriet Potter, and then we're going to see what happens. So we're going to import java.io, everything, and then we'll import java.utilities. And we'll come here and we'll create I'm just going to create a scanner right off the bat. Scanner input equals new scanner. So again, I'm going to combine these into one statement. New file. It's in a string, Harry Potter .text. Got an error here. Let's see what that is. Oh, we didn't throw an exception. So throws file not found exception. Really the only thing that aside from our classes, so our classes start with a capital letter and then go to lowercase, and same thing with our exceptions because they actually are classes in themselves. Okay, so throws file not found exception, and then we have a scanner that is set up to read Harry Potter, and we could print it all out right now to the console and read it from the console. Let's say while scanner dot not scanner input has next, and again, I could send this to a method to do this, but here we'll just do it right here. Well, input dot has next, so I want to read it into a string, and then I want to add that string, print it to our output stream. So we're going to need an output stream. So let's do that next. So print stream output equals new print stream, and we'll call it Harriet Potter dot text. So while it has a next, we're gonna save it. String word equals input dot next. And then I'm going to, so I could do this all on one line, but I think so you can see me doing it, I'm going to do it in a couple lines. Word is now going to equal word dot replace all dot replace So I want to replace the whole word. So I'm going to use the replace all. All, and it's going to look for a string that we want to replace. So we want to replace the string Harry, and we want to replace it with the string Harriet. And I didn't close my quotes. And then I want to put that, write that word to the output stream. So, and if I do that, I won't have any spaces between any of my words. So I want to go system, no, just output dot, let's see, we want a print statement with that word. Let's just see what happens if we do it like that. Let's run it, see what happens. My feeling is that all of the words, and actually we could check this by just printing it to the console. System.out.print word. So we would first print it to the file, then I'm going to print it to the console. And I'll be able to see, I can already tell what's happened is, so it got too big for the console, but I saw it printing. If we go and look in our workspace, that file should be there in chapter 6. Let's see. Harriet Potter, there it is. I can open that up, and there it is. And so you can see what happened to it is all the spaces came out. So what might make more sense would be to read the line instead of having this read a word. Let's go while it has next line, and let's read an entire line in at a time. So, you know, a line in a book is going to go until it changes paragraphs. So really, each of these lines is really a paragraph. But now when we print the whole paragraph, if we print it as a print, we might need a print line here. Then that'll print the whole word followed by a new line character. So let's see what happens when we do that. And again, I'm not seeing anything because I didn't print it out. I also don't see it over here because it's in this folder. I'd have to copy it into Eclipse. It's not being saved in Eclipse. It's being saved on in my folder here. And there it is. And I think I ended up with extra returns in there. So I actually just need a print statement. That word is going to contain the new line character at the end. And then I'll open this again, close that. And now I want to look at, see what happened to the book. Oh, no, we do need those return lines. We do need those print lines, or it just prints it all as one big paragraph. So I actually do need that print line statement. Okay, so I had it right the first time. This is going to read through line by line and replace all the Harrys that it sees with Harriet. But is it going to do that? So let's check and make sure that it worked. I mean, it does work to some degree. You know, Harriet Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, awesome. But then look at chapter 1, the boy who lived. Well, really, it would be the girl who lived. If you haven't read Harry Potter, I would encourage it. It should make it required reading for everyone. Anyways, I was trying to get my video back up here. So what is wrong with what we did? So discuss the issues with what we did, with what did and did not work, and how they could be fixed. So this is not a perfect science, because what we're going to notice here, if I can find my Zoom bar, get my video back up here, as I go through this text file, I'm going to kind of look for Harriet here, if we can find her. I'm just kind of scanning through. So here's one, their son, Harriet. This is following Mr. Dursley, so we have to get down to something where Harry is involved. I'm just scrolling down. Okay, so here's going to be talking about Harriet. Yes, yeah, Harriet Potter was still there. There she is, asleep at the moment, but not for long. His Aunt Petunia. So right there, it would be her Aunt Petunia, right? Because Harriet is now a girl. But again, we got this he rolled onto his back. So one thing we could do is we could say, okay, change all the pronouns he to she. Now, the problem with that is that then when it's talking about any other male character in the book, they're all going to have female pronouns. So, you know, one way to handle this would be to change all of the pronouns and make them all gender neutral. So we would change he, his, and him to they, theirs, and their, and we do the same thing with she, hers, and hers. You know, and there'd still be some issues, right? Because, you know, for example, the boy who lived, right? So if it's a girl, we'd have to, how would you know to change all the boys? You wouldn't want to change every word boy in the book, but you get the idea. It's kind of fun. So that's the next part, which is instead of changing it to Harriet Potter, let's just make Harry Potter a little bit more gender neutral. Let's convert Harry Potter to Harry Poe, and then make all the characters gender neutral. So we would do that by changing all the pronouns, he, him, and his, she, her, and hers, to they, their, and theirs. This would probably be like blasphemy for J.K. Rowling. She's gotten in a little trouble about her statements on transgendered issues. So I'd probably get myself in trouble here. No, I don't think I will, but let's do it and see what happens. Sorry, I'm trying to relaunch Eclipse. Okay, so we'll just do this in the same, well, I'll just make a new, I'll just copy this. I don't know. I don't know if I need to copy it. Sure, let's just keep this. So instead of having Harry change to Harriet, we would change Harry to Hari. And then we would also do word equals word.replace all. And we would replace all the Potters with the last name Poe. I don't know why, just because I thought it was funny. Harry Poe sounds better than Harry Potter. And then all the genders. So let's start with he. So, you know, there's a question about like the capitalization and the lowercase. And so, you know, that could become an issue with, you know, if we replace all the he's, he, with they, what about the capital HEs? So is that another replacement? It probably would be. Or we could maybe do like a he.ignore case or something right here, because this is just a string. But then we wouldn't know whether the they should be capitalized or not. So while I could do he.ignore case here, nope, I can't. Okay. So I might have to do two of those, one for lowercase he and one for uppercase he, but I won't do that. I'll just sort of do one more of the she. So why would I need to change them all? Well, you know, we would just want the men to be gender neutral, or we want everyone to be gender neutral. So change all the she's to theys. And then we'd also have to change, you know, he, him. I guess I can just copy. Let's just do it all. We have time. Copy that, paste it in again. 3, 4. Okay, we change the he to they, the him to their, the his to theirs. I'm laughing because it's like you're kind of taking liberties with someone's book here, J.K. Rowling's. book. I'm just she to they, her to their, and hers to theirs. And then we'll print it to the output stream, run it. We'll go look at it, try to read it. I know there's still going to be an issue in the capitalization, I believe. So like I said, I don't think the capital he's are going to have changed. Harry Poe and uh-oh. So notice what happened here, the they. So that was the, T-H-E, but it changed it. It changed the H-E to they. So that's a problem because I didn't want to change the. Notice in all the thes, uh-oh, they all got changed. So there's probably a method that says, you know, how, so this is what I talked about when I was mentioning, you know, discuss the issues with what we did, with what did and did not work. So this didn't work because we ended up replacing the word the H-E in the got replaced with, you know, they. So the T-H-E became T-H-E-Y. So one way to fix that, sort of a quick way to fix it would be, let's going to try to put a space after that. That doesn't work because the still has a space after it. I don't know how we would fix that. So I'm sure there is a way. There may be another method that we could use, but we're going to scrap it. We will just comment this all out. Let's see, I edit here. Add a block comment, boom. And let's do it the other way. Let's add, let's see, let's edit. Add block comment, toggle comment. Yeah, add block comment. We'll comment it all out. So I don't like that. It makes it look too weird. We'll just add it in manually. Comment that out down to here. It didn't work. I knew that there were going to be issues with what we wanted to do, but we could just do it from Harry Potter to Harry Poe. Let's just try that again. And why not just change, you know, one more thing. Boy. What would a gender neutral equivalent of boy be? Child? It's interesting. So I teach a stats class, and one of the typical examples in stats is gender questions, and you do gender male or female. And then, you know, it's sort of, I had a transgendered student and I was like, wait, should I have another category, or how do I not make that student feel unincluded? And I kind of had to think about what do we mean when we talk about two options for gender in statistics class. Okay, so I'm going to run this and see what happens. We're going to go to our file. It's interesting. This is actually easier to do in a lot of things are easier to do in Python. You probably know that. This is one of the things that's easier in Python. Oh, nothing in there. Why not? Let me delete it. I don't know why there's nothing in there. Let's look. I probably didn't advance. Oh, I didn't. I commented out my print statement. So it created the file back up here, Harriet Potter. Actually, it's not Harriet Potter anymore. It's now Harry Poe. Okay, and then it created it, but it didn't write anything to it. And again, there it is. Oh, I didn't change that boy because the boy was all caps. So if I want to change that, I can change it. So it is capital specific here. So that could create an issue as well, that it's not ignoring the cases. We'll do it one more time, see if I can get what I want here. Chapter 1, the Harry Poe and the Sorcerer's Stone. Chapter 1, the child who lived. So we didn't change any of the pronouns. They didn't think they could bear it if anyone found out about the Poes. Mr. Poe was Mr. Dursley's sister. Mrs. Poe was Mr. Dursley's sister. Mrs. Dursley's sister. Let's see if they have, we gotta find our Harry Potter somewhere here. Harry Poe, where is she? He, them. Oh, that's tricky. There's Poe. Poe wasn't such an unusual name. There were lots of people called Poe who had a son called Harry. So again, we might have to change son to child. So, you know, it's a lot more work than first expected, but not needless to say, kind of a fun endeavor. There you go. You got an electronic copy of Harry Potter that you could go read, or Harry Poe if you prefer. All right. I'm gonna end here. I know that we didn't finish this. Mainly, I'm just doing this to kind of play around with it a little bit and to show you that sometimes what you want to do has other repercussions. Like when I changed he to they, I was actually changing any word that contained he in it to replace that he with the word, the letters they. So like sometimes when you want to do something, it seems like it's going to work, but then when you try it, it works. But then that was the other thing I wanted to show, is that when we changed Harry to Harriet, it worked, but then it kind of created this other problem of referring to Harry as he, and Harriet went to open the door and he found that it was locked. So that's a gender sort of contradiction. So then I was like, well, let's, as those new problems arise, you get new solutions, but then they don't quite work out either. So that happens a lot with data and trying to, again, I'm teaching the stats class, and part of their job is to look at some data and try to understand it. And it's really easy to look at data that comes from the textbook or comes from a course, and someone has cleaned it up for you already. But when you try to look at like data from the world, it's messy, and it's not always what you want it to be. And also when you try to manipulate it, it doesn't always behave the way you want or you would expect. All right, I'll end it here. End. Okay.